Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca. This is my first check-in video for this class. Just to give you some information about the internship that I am currently placed in. I am the social work intern at a local junior high school named Liberty High School in New Lenox, Illinois. We're a south suburb of Chicago and a pretty decent sized town, but not nearly as big as the city of Chicago. So there's only one social worker, and that's who I am working with. She's my intern supervisor. She's great. She's been there for several years, um, and I've learned a lot from her so far. I was really excited to actually work in the school system because when I had to decide where I wanted to do my internship, I knew I wanted to do it somewhere that I had never worked in the area before. So I've worked at a domestic violence shelter. The past 7 years, I've worked with adults with chronic mental illness, and at my previous internship, I worked with the homeless population. So when I was trying to come up with ideas of where to intern at for my master's, I really wanted to do something different that I could gain a lot from. So a school was it, and I didn't know if I would like it because I've never worked with kids before, and I was very nervous about that. But I actually do like it a lot so far. Um, Being that she's the only social worker at the school, she said she was really excited to take on an intern because of the fact that her caseload has grown so much over the past few years, and she could really use the help. As soon as I started there, I saw exactly what she meant. She does not have the time to meet with everybody that needs to meet with her. She has both special ed students that have what we call IEPs, which I'm just learning individualized education plans um, for students, and then she also has what they call the general population, which is just other students who don't have any special needs, but may have issues going on in their lives, problems with friends, issues at home. We've had several instances of self-harm. I guess that's the age group that starts, which I was kind of surprised. I thought that, 12 and 13 years old, they would be too young for that. But I'm seeing a lot of issues with self-harm, substance abuse, and a lot of grown-up issues that I was surprised that I'd be dealing with. So kind of right off the bat, from the first week I was there, I started meeting with students, mainly just to kind of help her out. It was kind of chaotic and hectic at first, which was intimidating, but also forced me to jump right in, which, as she said, was the best way to learn. So I did just that. I jumped right in. So far, I have my own caseload right now, mainly with the IEP students, so the kids that have a specialized treatment plan for their special needs. And I meet with them just about every day. I have throughout the caseload, I meet with a few of them every day for 20 to 30 minutes. And it's the early stage now, so just trying to get to know them, getting used to their habits, what makes them comfortable, and kind of building rapport before I get into anything too serious with them. Um, I'm still in the process of learning the computer system. I think they changed it this year, and a lot of the people there, even when I ask them questions, they're not sure. But I will have to log then these IEP minutes that when I meet with the students, I just kind of say how long we met, a brief description of what we discussed, any major issues, any observations, and I was actually very surprised at how little paperwork goes into this. It's all very hands-on, which I'm also excited about because I can see myself getting a lot of great experience. Um, my main goals for this internship, my supervisor and I have discussed, is getting a well-rounded experience. So working with the special ed population as well as the general population through individual therapy, but also doing group work. So I'll start a group in about a month, and I'm going to focus on generalized anxiety with students. That'll kind of be the focus of the first group I do. Um, and yeah, so those are my focuses, the individualized counseling as well as the group work. Um, and I've had a few cases that have been pretty intense, within the first few weeks. One of them was a young girl who's involved in DCFS because her father is very abusive to her mother and her siblings. So they've been working with DCFS with that. Mom's really struggling with keeping dad out of the home. She keeps going back to him. Um, Kind of a typical domestic violence situation, and unfortunately, the children are very much suffering for mom's decision to keep going back. So we've been working with her on that. Um, and another situation which I've been working with is a young girl who has even expressed suicidal ideation. There's some severe depression going on. Um, threats of self-harm, things of that nature, where we had to get her actually hospitalized for an evaluation. And these are pretty intense cases that I kind of just did a lot of observing and helping out as much as I could in the moment because it was so quick moving that, I didn't want to get in the way, but I wanted to be of assistance. So I just did what I could, and I learned a lot in those situations. And following several of those without getting too much into it, of course, we have to have meetings with the parents. And I think one of the most shocking and disturbing parts of this was um, how truly apathetic the moms in both of these situations were. They almost seemed annoyed that they had to be bothered with their children's issues. They didn't take it seriously. We have strongly encouraged counseling outside of school for both of these girls, which neither of the parents seem to be following up with. Um, and so that was very difficult and difficult to address face to face with the mothers in the meetings. So just as my question for this week, which I'm surprised this is even my question. I thought it would be something different, but this has definitely been kind of weighing on my mind. My question for you all is, how would you handle a parent like that in that situation? In these meetings, I can't come out and say, you should care more. Don't you care? Aren't you upset about this? Obviously that's not appropriate. But how would you guys approach this? Because this is new to me. I have never worked with students and their parents. I've always worked directly with the clients. So yeah, that is my question, and that's kind of my experience so far overall. So I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.